The S20 Ultra was released 2 years ago and has had 2 generations of phones ahead of it, but I think it is still one of the best value phones you can get in 2022. One of the good things about Samsung phones is they drop in price quite quickly compared to other companies. On Amazon, it's roughly $750 for a new one, and on eBay, I saw it for as low as $550 and around $350 for a pre-owned one. For the price this goes at, it's a major steal in my opinion, and for someone who still wants to have those flagship features but doesn't want to pay flagship money, you can still have this phone, and because it does have flagship features on it. Because I mean, when this phone first came out, you had to sell your uncle's father's cousin's arm to be able to buy it, but now in 2022 it's the same price as some mid-range phones. Now for the build quality, how does this hold up in 2022? The build quality is still great, even though it was released 2 years ago. The back and the front are covered in Gorilla Glass 6. Just for comparison, the S22 Ultra has Gorilla Glass Victus Plus on the front and the back of the phone, so Samsung went from 6 strong gorillas to a Victus Gorilla. That's good, I guess. Glass is still glass. No matter how many super gorillas you put on it, it will still shatter if you drop it hard. The display on the phone is still one of the best. Samsung makes one of the best displays on the market. There's no exception here. This is a 6.9-inch 120Hz OLED screen, although one thing to note is you can't have both 120Hz and QHD resolution. You have to pick one of them. Personally, I would take a smoother display over a slightly better resolution. The colors are quite vibrant like any other Samsung phone, plus the screen is very responsive, which makes it perfect for gaming and scrolling through social media. Now, the processor is where this phone falls a bit behind. The processor inside this phone is the Snapdragon 865 if you're in the US. If you're not in the US, you're getting Exynos 900, and we all know Exynos. But in my personal everyday use, honestly, this Exynos has been great. I still game on this phone. I'm not really that much of a gamer. I just play Genshin and then Asphalt and then Pokemon Unite. That's it. And it's doing great in all these games, honestly. Like, only when I got the phone first, that's when I started having a few glitches, but after I updated the software, it runs perfectly. The processor is aided by a lot of RAM actually. My version is the 12GB of RAM with 128GB of storage. You might ask, 128GB is quite small, but this phone has expandable storage, which is something you never see these days. So you can spec it up to a terabyte if you want. Just buy expandable memory and then put it in. Then you have unlimited memory basically, which is a really good steal these days. Now for the camera. This is the part where I feel a bit disappointed. Don't get me wrong, this is not a bad camera. I'm just really spoiled in the camera department because I am just comparing it to the S21 and S22 Ultra. The cameras on the back are really good. They're still good, but they're even better, but they get worse when it's not outside. I know every phone camera doesn't perform as well when there's less light, but this one, there's a huge difference with it when there's light or when you're outside, and then when there's no light. When it's outside, photos are crisp like this one, and then when it's inside, it gets sort of muddy and it's like night and day, literally. Although the specs are still the same for the 20, 21 and 22, but image processing isn't as good. Now for software updates. This is an older phone, which means sooner or later it will stop getting software updates. It is able to run Android 12, which is the latest version of Android. The S20 Ultra has 3 years of software updates, so unfortunately it will stop getting software updates after Android 13. But if you're already the Android user who doesn't update their software, then this is still okay for you to go on for 3 more years. Overall, this is an amazing phone, especially for the price you can get it. If you're on a tight budget but you still want some of those ultra features, this is a good phone for you. You still get the 100x zoom, you still get the 108 megapixel sensor. This is one for you. I'm going to make more videos comparing the Samsung flagship phones with each other, and hopefully I'll compare this with the upcoming Z Flip 4.